that's pretty much the only information that we need from the client side. So it will be the bottom in the side, we call it the total value, width. In this case, we supply the specific dimension that they need. So that's the only thing we need, and also the extension of the gutter. So how long it is and how much they will need, and that's the only information that they sent to us. So I have a gutter, for instance, with like 100 millimeters by I don't know, 2,000 meters long. That's the only information the client provided us, and we supplied with this specific dimension, the specific width that they need for the gutter. We have a question here from Sue. It says, what is the composition of this membrane? Is just EPDM, Alexandra?
The top of the membrane, it's an EPDM membrane, but this is self-adhesive, as we said, and this adhesive it's a butyl-based adhesive. So we have two layers, three actually, with the protective foil. We have on the top EPDM, then a butyl-based adhesive, and then the protective foil that will come out at the installation.
Yeah.
And the EPDM membrane, it's not a standard membrane. It's a reinforced EPDM membrane. This reinforcement allows us to bend it and to make sure that this will stay on the right position once this is adhered. It has a special reinforcement to make it easier to work with, to make it easier to obtain the shape that we need on the gutter.
Yeah. We have here also a question from John. It says, can I apply it on concrete prefabricated gutter? Yes, John, as I mentioned, this is not usual, but yes, of course, you can apply on prefabricated made by concrete. Here's some highlights aspect of the solution. So as I mentioned, it's very simple and efficient because of the base materials have over 50-year life expectancy. Compared to any gutter that I mentioned, again, no accessory need. I think this is a very important point to mention. You don't need specialized labor for this type of installation. So anyone can install this solution. What we do in most of the case, if you have a very specific situation, we provide a technical submission saying how you need to install this product, and also followed by our manual of installation. And of course, since Effisus is allocated, we have allocated different teams around Europe and around the world. Our team can also, of course, go there if it's necessary to supply a training, for instance, for the guys. Self-adhesive membrane, so it's again, comes to the installation, you just remove the foil and apply the bottom and then to the sides. More will talk later on for the installation. And another important thing, it could be used to repair a final state gutter with just one precaution. If this gutter it has no structure compromise of the building. I mean, if it's a very, very, very strong corrosion that compromises the stability or the structure properties of the gutter, of course, we're not suggest to use. But if it's when the structural element is assured, you can also we recommend to use the solution. Comes to the installation. Mar, can you just highlight us here?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, what the client or the person who runs the project has to do, it's confirm the dimensions, because as Alessandra said, we normally study every project, so we advise what is the dimension and all the width. We have to advise the customer. So first of all, confirm the dimensions, and then when you have everything unfold, all the rows, in this case, as we've been saying, if the gutter is really in a bad state, we apply the primer and we wait to dry it. If not, we directly go to apply the membrane. After that we can cut the membrane. It's not really cut. We put in the bottom and the base of the gutter, the membrane. We start step by step. Every 20 centimeters, we're going to layer it because it's self-adhesive, so it's really easy. We don't need anything else. And then we follow with the laterals, and after that the corners, if they are corners, of course. And if, for example, in difficult situation or specific situation like drain outlets, we can I think, yeah. Okay, we can talk about this before. Normally, the rows are 10 or 20 meters long, so it's they are gutters with more than that dimension. So we have to join several rows. In this case, the overlap has to have 10 centimeters to overlap. And in this case, to protect even more the tightness, we use our Bond FT tape. As we can see in this tape, we normally we did the presentation, and you can follow if you look at our website, you can follow the steps of the Bond FT. It's really easy as well. We apply the primer, and then we put the Bond FT tape, and after all, the sealant. So, with all the perimeters. So it's really easy, and even with huge and small spaces, it's really able to do it.
Yeah, so Bond FT, just to resume this part, Bond FT, it's our flashing tape. So when it comes to details and this type of flashing, we use this to assure this connection, these overlaps. Same thing here, you see it on the drain outlets. What we have here, you just apply the whole membrane. You have the connect there, assure, and what we do is use the connect to drain outlet. And around this area, we apply the same tape that we use on the overlaps, which is the Bond FT.
The Bond FT, it's as well EPDM. It's uncure, this is cure, so it's the same properties. And in this case, we can say we have as well prefabricate connections with several diameters. But if it's not worthy, or we advise it in that case, we shouldn't put it. We can use as well the Bond FT in the drain outlet. It's the same steps of collocation, so it's really simple.
So here is an example of the application. In this case, we decided again to apply the primer first. And then after the primer set, dry, as Mara mentioned, we have the installation of the membrane. We see here very limited sides, but again, there's no problem at all. It could be even higher. There's no this type of limitation. Here you see here the connection was applied the membrane. The joints in this case was not used the drain outlet connection as Mara mentioned, but the flashing tape, which is the Bond FT. Alexandra, do you have anything to bring to us here? Do you have any recommendation besides the one we mentioned?
Yeah, as Mar was saying, the Effisus Bond FT tape is used on this solution in any type of detail that requires a more flexible material, because with the Effisus Bond FT we can stretch it and we can adapt it to any shape required. So we use this to do the overlaps. We use this we can use it to, for example, to do the details, the sealing details with the drain outlets, as we can see here on this picture. Actually, on this picture, the application is not so well done, because the Effisus Bond FT should have gone lower on the drain. It should
a little bit deeper, yeah.
Yeah, deeper, yes. But it's a self-adhesive membrane. It doesn't require heat or fire to be applied, so it's very flexible to use on details.
Yeah. So following up your line, we also have a question here from Mike. What is the warranty and life expectancy of the product, Mar?
Yeah, the warranty is 5 years, but we can study the situation and we can prolong the, yeah, depends on the project. We can say maybe 10 or 15. We can study that, but the standard is 5 years. And the life expectancy, you said at the beginning it's 50 years because it's a EPDM membrane, yeah.
Okay. So thank you. I don't know if you have any other question here. Thank you so much for watching our Connective Valley session. So I'm an account manager for the UK region, but I can follow any type of query you might have. This is my contact, my email. If it's some specific situation that requires more technical submission from our side, we can also provide there. It's important to mention I'll be here every day to follow these sessions, the Connective Valley sessions. For instance, same tomorrow at 11, we'll discuss the specific about gutter connections. So same thing here, but only specific for the connections. We also have another question here from Mike. What is the compatible substrate, Mark?
Yeah, we said at the beginning, it's all metals, it's concrete can be as well, and I don't know. I think all kind galvanized steel. I don't know, aluminium.
Lacquered steel. We can also apply this over wood. On wood, we have to use a primer. But basically, we can adhere to most common substrates that we can find on the gutter. Yes, we just have to analyze if it's required to use the primer or not. That will be the main decision to.
Yeah. So Mike, yes, most common substrate we can use the all tied together membrane. If it's something very specific, what we can also do, if it's necessary, what we can do is to assess a compatibility test to attest if this material could be or not applied to your material. That's something we can also provide. So thank you once again. Thank you, Mar. Thank you, Alexandra.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you again. I'll be here tomorrow at 11. Thank you.
Bye-bye.